What's so powerful is how this translates to any wide problem we're trying to solve.
And we've got a great stack of sources for you today.
Oh, cool.
We've got excerpts from Richard Rumelt's book, The CRUX,
Great book.
some McKinsey research on why strategies fail, and even a peek into how Elon Musk
Wow.
used this principle to revolutionize space travel with SpaceX. Welcome to the deep dive.
Yeah.
Today we're going deep on strategy
Oh, yeah.
through this idea of the CRUX.
Okay.
And it's funny,
Yeah.
this term comes from rock climbing,
Yeah.
but it's got these huge implications
Right.
for how we approach any challenge, really.
Absolutely.
Business, personal growth,
Yeah.
even just like making a tough decision.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's true. That one move,
Yeah.
that tricky section that just makes or breaks the whole climb,
Right.
that's the crux.
That's it.
And what's so powerful is how this translates to any wide problem we're trying to solve.
And we've got a great stack of sources for you today.
Oh, cool.
We've got excerpts from Richard Rumelt's book, The CRUX,
Great book.
some McKinsey research on why strategies fail, and even a peek into how Elon Musk
Wow.
used this principle
Oh,
to revolutionize space travel with SpaceX.
yeah.
But before we get into all of that,
Okay.
I'm curious,
Yeah.
have you ever felt like
Yeah.
you're putting a ton of effort into something,
Uh-huh.
but not really making any headway?
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Like spinning your wheels,
Yeah.
you're busy,
Uh-huh.
but not necessarily productive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where understanding the crux can be
Right.
this game changer.
For sure.
know?
Yeah.
Helps us cut through the noise and focus on the obstacle that's really standing in our way.
It's about
Yeah.
identifying that one pivotal point
Right.
where once you overcome it,
Uh-huh.
everything else falls into place.
Okay, I'm hooked.
All right.
Let's start with
Yeah.
Elon Musk
Yeah.
and SpaceX.
Okay.
Now, this guy,
Yeah.
known for setting some pretty ambitious goals,
For sure.
but turning space travel from this
Right.
government-funded endeavor
Yeah.
into a
Yeah.
commercially viable industry.
Right.
That's a whole other level.
Uh-huh.
So where did he even begin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Musk,
Yeah.
being the brilliant engineer that he is, realized that the core issue wasn't just
Right.
rocket technology,
Hmm.
but their single-use nature.
Oh?
Imagine throwing away a jumbo jet after one flight.
Oh, wow.
That's space travel before SpaceX.
Wow.
So he saw reusability as the crux,
Okay.
the make or break factor for making space travel affordable.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But as anyone who's seen a space shuttle reentry knows,
Right.
getting a rocket back in one piece
Yeah.
is no easy feat.
Right.
It's basically a controlled fireball.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the prevailing approach at the time
Okay.
was to focus on these heat shields,
Uh-huh.
which were incredibly complex and expensive.
Okay.
But Musk took a different tack.
Yeah.
He asked, what if?
Yeah.
Instead of trying to resist the heat,
Right.
we use it to our advantage.
Okay. How do you use the searing heat of atmospheric reentry
Yeah.
to your advantage?
Musk's radical idea
Yeah.
was to use the rocket's own engines
Okay.
to slow it down during descent, essentially turning that fiery plummet into a more controlled landing.
Oh,
Of course,
right.
this required some serious engineering.
Yeah.
The engines needed to be incredibly reliable and capable of this precise power control.
So he wasn't just throwing darts at a board.
No.
He understood that solving this one specific problem
Right.
was the key to unlocking everything else.
Exactly.
Wow.
And it paid off.
Yeah?
SpaceX became the first to
Oh.
successfully land a rocket vertically back on Earth.
Wow.
By 2018,
Okay.
the cost of launching cargo into orbit had plummeted,
Wow.
making space travel more accessible than ever before.
That's a pretty amazing example of
Yeah.
how identifying and tackling the crux can lead to
Right.
groundbreaking results.
Absolutely.
But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes when we talk about strategy,
Yeah.
it feels very theoretical.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
okay, I get the concept,
Mm-hmm.
but how do I actually do this in my own life?
That's a great point. And it's where Richard Rumelt's work comes in his book.
Yeah.
He defines the crux
Yeah.
as the element of a challenge that is both crucial and addressable.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Crucial and addressable.
Yeah.
What's the distinction there?
So
Isn't everything important in a challenge?
you're right. There
Yeah.
are tons of important aspects to
Really?
any problem.
Yeah.
But The crux is more than just important.
Okay.
It's the linchpin,
Right.
the element that, if solved, unlocks significant progress.
Okay.
And addressable means it's actually solvable.
Right.
It's not just wishing for a miracle.
Yeah.
It's about finding a realistic path forward.
So it's not just about choosing what's important.
Right.
It's about identifying what's both make or break and
That's
within our power to change.
Yes.
That's a much more nuanced way of looking at it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you know,
Yeah.
this idea of the crux ties in really well with the McKinsey research on strategy. They found that one of the biggest reasons strategies fail
Yeah.
is a lack of focus.
Oh, I can totally see that.
Yeah.
It's so easy to get caught up in trying to do everything,
Right.
especially when you're passionate about something.
Uh-huh.
You end up spreading yourself too thin
Yeah.
and making little progress on anything.
It's like that old saying,
Yeah.
chase 2 rabbits,
Right.
catch none.
Yep.
You need to choose your target carefully and pour your energy into that.
Yeah.
Rumelt actually uses the analogy of a magnifying glass.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a magnifying glass.
Yeah.
How does that relate to strategy?
Well, a magnifying glass
Yeah.
can focus sunlight
Right.
to create enough heat
Uh-huh.
to burn something.
Okay.
But it only works
Right.
if you have a powerful source of energy.
Yeah.
And if you focus that energy very precisely on the right target.
So it's not just about effort.
No.
It's about directing that effort strategically.
Precisely. And in the world of strategy, that means understanding your sources of power
Okay.
and using them to overcome your crux.
Power.
Yeah.
Now that sounds a little intimidating.
Uh-huh.
Like, am I supposed to suddenly become some kind of business tycoon
No.
to apply this?
Not at all.
Okay.
Power comes in many forms.
Right.
It could be a unique skill,
Okay.
a strong network,
Mm-hmm.
a deep understanding of a particular market,
Right.
even just a reputation for delivering exceptional work.
Okay, so it's about identifying
Right.
what you bring to the table.
Yeah.
What sets you apart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then figuring out how to leverage those strengths
Right.
to tackle your crux,
Yeah.
for example.
Right.
Let's say your crux is breaking into a new market.
Yeah.
If your power lies in your innovative product design,
Okay.
you might focus on showcasing that uniqueness
Right.
to attract early adopters.
So it's about choosing the right tool for the job, so to speak.
Exactly. You wouldn't use a hammer to tighten a screw,
Right.
and you wouldn't rely solely on networking
Right.
if your real power lies in your technical expertise.
Exactly.
Right.
But identifying your sources of power is only
Yes.
part of the equation.
Yeah,
You also need to understand the context you're operating in.
absolutely.
So it's not just about what you're good at.
Right.
It's about how that stacks up against the competition,
Yeah.
the market trends, the overall landscape.
It's like a game of chess.
Right.
You need to be aware of your opponent's moves
Yeah.
and the position of the pieces on the board
Right.
to make strategic decisions.